4:21 a.m., two explosions shook Pentyrch. The first one was an airburst. Witnesses said it sounded like thunder, but sharper. The second explosion was different. A ground impact somewhere along Smilog Woods shook every house in the village. At the local hospital, patients thought a bomb had gone off. The explosions registered on seismographs 40 miles away. But something else happened that night that was more frightening to parents than the explosions. Their children couldn't wake up. All the kids in the area slept through all this noise. Explosions, planes, helicopters, sirens. One mother told investigators this was the first time in 10 years her kids didn't wake up in the middle of the night. The next morning, Kaz's hair had turned white. Not just that single strand, and not gray, white. Yesterday she had dark hair, now she looked 10 years older. Kaz, Dave, and another neighbor, Steve, went to check the field where the pyramid appeared. They expected to find the ground burned from the lightning strikes. Everything looked wrong. The grass was brown. The bushes were dead. Everything that had been under the pyramid's path was drained of life. Not burned, not broken, just dead. The trees along the edge of the field were dry and lifeless, but only the side that faced the pyramid. The rest of each tree, even branches on the same trunk, were perfectly healthy. But things got stranger. Snow was falling, but only there, only in the dead zone. And this wasn't normal snow. The flakes were tiny, spongy pellets, and they didn't melt when you touched them. They just dissolved into nothing. They hopped in their car and drove west toward L'Entresant Common, following the path of the objects and the aircraft. For years, locals had dumped old appliances in the common. It became like a giant junkyard. Washing machines, bike frames, car parts, they were scattered all over the common. But not today. Now everything was stacked in neat piles along the side of the road. Someone had searched, sorted, and organized all the metal in the area. Yellow crime scene tape hung from the bushes, but there was no pattern to it, no perimeter, just random strips fluttering in the wind. A dog walker told them he'd been out at 4:30 that morning. He saw military helicopters landing. Troops jumped out with metal detectors. They were searching for something that crashed in Smilog Woods. So that's where they headed next. They found the impact site in minutes. 6 trees, each 60 feet tall, snapped in half. Not at the base, 20 feet up where the trunks were 12 inches thick. All 6 breaks formed a perfect line pointing back toward Pentyrch. Trees don't snap like that. Not from wind, not from aircraft. Whatever hit those trees had been moving fast. Really fast. Faster than anything that exists on Earth.